My resurrection story is grounded in the 103rd Psalm, where it says that He has redeemed my life from the pit. He has crowned me with love and compassion. I have struggled my whole life with mental illness, with depression, and with obsessive compulsive disorder. And it is like living in a pit. It is very dark, and you don't think you will ever get out.
Back in 2003, my mom, who had been healthy up to that point, was diagnosed with a blockage in her bile duct. After numerous tests and procedures, it was determined that there was a tumor in her bile duct. Well, they did surgery, and unfortunately the cancer had spread, and there was really nothing they could do for her. So they sent her home and basically told her to just live the rest of her life, however long that might be. Well, I was in Atlanta at a convention with my family, and I got a call from my sister and saying Mom had taken a turn for the worse, that we had to get home. So I flew home and met them at the hospital. All the while on the plane, I kept thinking the last thing I wanted to see was my mom die. I did not want to watch her die at a hospital. That would be really tough to go through. So I just kept praying to God for strength, for courage to get through this.
Through my entire life, life came easy. But then you come across some obstacles that were too big and too hard. Getting addicted to drugs, putting those before my family was a huge obstacle that I couldn't face that I couldn't hurdle myself. So God interceded. He put my wife in my life. She helped me get through it. She helped me realize that God wanted a different way for me.
And I am very, very thankful that in the last 5 years that I met a Christian doctor who has been fantastic. God has really used him and allowed him to come up with just a perfect combination of medicine for me so that I can be well, I can be like other people, I can pursue my dreams, and I am no longer in the pit. The day that I could go into the doctor's office and say, I feel normal, was an amazing day. To describe how I knew that I felt normal, I guess I thought, I see myself behaving and responding to things like other people do, and that's how I felt that I knew I was feeling normal and like I should be, and in a place where I needed to be.
And we thought maybe we would never have a chance to talk to her again. Then on 3 separate occasions, she woke up and spoke with such a sense of clarity and purpose and intelligence, something I've never seen my mom do in that fashion before. And she told us that 2 days earlier, she had seen Jesus, and that he had given her the choice to come with her then or to come back. And she chose to come back because she said she had some more that she wanted to tell us. She told us that everything she had taught us and told us about Jesus and God was true, that we could believe it. And she told us that we didn't have to mourn, that she was ready. She was ready to go. She knew where she was going. And that even though she might not be able to talk with us, we would be able to talk with her anytime that we wanted. I was raised in the church, so I always had faith, and I always believed. But that reinforcement just, shot my belief and my faith through the roof.
So he was able to go to the Home of Grace. He was there for 3 weeks before Hurricane Katrina came through. And it was pretty much just a short ways from the coast. So they evacuated everybody. So he'd been there for 3 weeks. He'd been clean for 3 weeks. And when they evacuated him and he came home, he started working. And he said, well, I think I've got the right start. I think I know what I need to do, and I really want to stay home and work. And we kind of made that decision together, and we did that. About 6 months later, he came back to me. He showed up at work one day, and he said, I need to talk to you. And we sat in the car, and he said, I need to go back and finish what I started. And at that point, that was when it was really his decision, and he knew that he had to go back. He said, I'm not where I was, but I feel myself slipping, and I know I need to finish what I started.
God put the Home of Grace in place for that reason. And sometimes you just need to take a break from life. And we were at the position, and God provided us with the resources at the time, which was amazing, to be able to not have to work, and to for me to be able to spend 90 days away from my wife and family without any income, without, and it was really a blessing. There's no other way to describe it.
And that's my resurrection story.
And this is my resurrection story.
This is our resurrection story.